just what I'm saying. Like, Tony, my question would be to y'all, right? You, Nick, and the guys on the
Yeah.
panel. Like, I want to know what y'all think. I just want to know how y'all see the game. Like, because I respect y'all's take, especially AI Nick, man, because he always gonna come for me anyway. I just want to know, like, how do y'all think CJ has had like just way more talent on offense than Bryce, or has it been close? And CJ just that 1 year just looked phenomenal, like or players played up because it was never the offense since that first year. You know what I mean? First year there was that
Well,
offense for sure with that defense, and you really couldn't believe that they lost. The only reason it was okay that they lost in the playoffs was because they lost to the Ravens. And for them couple of years, they were smoking hot. Lamar just looked like he wanted to win a Super Bowl, and then the baby fall out with the bathwater and cause their untimely end in the playoffs. But if they didn't run into the Ravens, I would have said, hell, they could have made it to the Super Bowl with the way they was playing that first year. So I'm saying, has CJ over the years had more talent than Bryce, or did Bryce have more talent than CJ? Maybe after the first year, or is it all about just the quarterback play? I hope I ain't asking too much.
well, no, you're not. And that answer will be different, depending on who you ask. So like I always say, putting things in its full context, because I don't personally believe not one quarterback. I don't care if you went first overall, number two overall, top 10, first round, second round, whoever you are, no one is just solely putting the team on their back and winning just because of the quarterback. That is something that fans have created and want to see, because the media makes it out to be the quarterbacks against the quarterbacks. To make these quarterbacks out to be more than what they really are. If you going first overall, second overall in the top five, you're going to a team that wasn't no damn good. That's just the facts. There's a reason why the team selected you first overall or moved up and selected you first overall, because they was in a position to. And that's just the facts. When you look at CJ and Bryce first year, the one thing that I would say that CJ had the advantage on is that even though both teams came in with a new head coach, new play caller, new offensive system, CJ's offensive system did not change whatsoever. There was no miscommunication. There was no drama. There was no changing the play caller. There was no trying to marry two offenses together and all this and all that. His head coach didn't get fired after week 11. I think it was for Frank Wright. He had a lot more stability going into his first year than Bryce did. Offensive line, neither team really had an offensive line to write home about. I honestly felt like Carolina coming into the year on paper had a better offensive line than Houston because of what we did as offensive line the year prior. So that's the only thing I can go off of. But then we found out real quickly that the offensive line that we did have the last year when Steve Wilkes took over was totally different. The scheme was different that Frank Wright ran when he came to Carolina. And I think that affected Bradley Bozeman, who was our starting center at the time, and other guys along the offensive line. Those guys were built for that north-south smash mouth football, which they did a really good job at. They wasn't really built for the wide zone, stretch zone. They didn't have the athletic ability to carry out that type of scheme. Yeah, I mean, just that alone, to me, in my opinion, can make or break a quarterback when they come into the league for the very first time. And if the system isn't dedicated to what you do best, that's going to be a problem. Most of the time, when quarterbacks come into the league now, even coming from college, even if the head coach or the offense coordinator or whoever, even if they don't change the scheme fully to what you're used to, they still try to implement the things that you do best. The things that made you successful in college, they try to add that to their scheme. And I always go back to like Cam Newton because his name has come up a couple times. Well, when Ron Rivera was the head coach, they adapted their scheme to what Cam did best, which he was a dual threat quarterback. That wasn't Ron Rivera and those guys' scheme the year prior. It wasn't until Cam came to Carolina did they make that adjustment, and they rightfully so. They did the best thing they did what was best for the quarterback that they selected number one overall, and they played to his strengths. And they did it exceptionally well by playing to his strengths. So yeah, when I look at all those factors and I put it into, its proper context, I think CJ, as the year went on, you can easily tell that he came into a better situation than Bryce did.
I agree with wholeheartedly with everything you said. All facts.
Yeah. So again, like I said, it's my opinion. It doesn't really matter if you know say it's right or wrong. I mean, you could disagree. That's fine. I mean, anybody could disagree, but it's just my opinion. That's just how I see it. Yeah. To answer your question, Damo.
I mean, I would say yeah. I just want to see, like, I love different perspectives on like subjects about stuff like that, right? Because this
Mm-hmm.
Bryce's Bryce's very career has just been like, I don't even know how to really describe it. They speak about Bryce as like not having strength, and I don't think Bryce physically has a strength. Like his physical strength might be his durability, you know, like the fact that he's just smaller than everybody. Maybe either I don't know. Like maybe it's just his durability. I think it's his brain, brother. I think if you protect him, you give him talent, Bryce is just going to be the better quarterback probably every other Sunday. Like it's just how it's going to be until he probably goes up
Yeah.
against a Josh Allen that can do a lot with his body as well as his mind and his arm talent. So
Right.
football quarterback at the quarterback level in the NFL, man, it's about decision making. Bryce, I think,
Mm-hmm.
does make smart decisions. He's never really trying to do too much. But best believe the moment he starts trying to do too much, that's where you can get a 350-yard game. If he has to sit back on his arm, he can do it. It's just all about having guys that, like, when you watch other teams, like, they don't have any weak links like that on their offenses. He be going out there with a weak link. Like we know he got some weak links on the O line. We know there's usually a weak link at receiver, meaning that he doesn't got a bunch of guys that can get open. So he might really just have to find the one or two open guys, either the check down or the one receiver that can get open downfield. Like he be dealing with stuff like that, where it's like Josh Allen and them can just pick off whoever they want to go to because the scheme is right, the team is right, and it just makes sense. A lot of times it look like when they're playing, he can just go wherever he want to go with the ball. It does not look like that in our offense every given Sunday. I don't see it. I still think we're a run first team. We got guys that can block, not necessarily route well. I think this year is a little different. Everybody's talking about our receiving core because it does look fancy. It does look nice. They do got a hard decision to
Mm-hmm.
make this year. I think given the
Right.
talent that's going to be around Bryce, if they protect him, we really going to see the best of Bryce this year on some real shit. That's the crazy thing. They've seen the best of C.J. Stroud his rookie year. It's not going to get no better than that. Now for Bryce, we really still have not seen his ceiling, and that's how I feel right now about the offense.